Hello and welcome to Maverrik Live. I'm your host Luke 2 and today I'm joined by Curtis here.
Hello, nice to see you all again.
How you doing? You good? Having a good week?
Yeah, good,
Strong?
good. To be fair, I've been very busy, as you've seen.
Yep.
I think with the world opening up as well, there's a lot of more confidence behind a lot of people's either budgets or thinking, let's upskill my team. We need to go and hit the ground running, so it's been quite exciting for us.
A lot of conversations. Yeah, I was saying you're like the new dean because it's hard to like pull them away from it, all the clients and all the conversations. And I'm just saying you're always there, either next to him or doing your own. So I'm glad I could have brought you down into the basement for this little chat.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
Because you're spearheading a lot of the sales business development with Maverrik, so which is why I brought you down to talk about how to motivate a sales team.
Yep.
Which is a thing I think a lot of sales directors want to know. Okay, so how do I make sales and make the team and growing the business exciting for my team? Because I feel like a lot of the time, some of the most motivated people in a business are the sales team.
Yeah.
Because they're the one who bring in the business to come in, they're all together. Every time there's a sale, there's a bell, there's a horn, there's a buzzer, there's something that goes, yes, we did it. So we've already got the motivation there. But sometimes you can see how they can get a bit complacent with what they're doing. Their processes slow down. They're relying on old ways which aren't bringing in the same amount of results. Yeah. So it's all about trying to kickstart that and get the fresh salesman feel again.
Of course, yeah. I think it's been very tough at the moment because COVID hasn't really helped with a lot of people working remotely. So we've been speaking to tons of clients at the moment where a lot of their main priority has actually been, we need to retain these clients and not lose them. Yeah. So they're going, let's think about the future, what's going to happen when we're out of COVID, what's going to happen in the next 2 years. We actually need to ramp up this pipeline and feed off that over the next couple of months.
Yeah, to secure them.
Yeah, whereas because everyone's a bit sheltered and a bit feeling less confident at the moment with everything that's happened, they're now just thinking, they're almost turning into client-based.
I see what you mean, yeah.
They're almost like a client-based team where it needs to go, we need to help the clients do this, we need to keep the clients happy, and we just need to try and get the client to spend more. Yeah,
it's weird. The practice of like having a relationship with a client to then sell is the better practice, because if it's just one in, one out, and they're not really got a relationship with them, there's no retention there. So they're probably struggling to find that retention because what they're doing is just selling and then leaving.
Yeah, but actually the truth is, if you almost go forward thinking and go, we need to ramp up the activity outside and driving new clients, they don't realise that has such a big knock-on effect on current clients, because current clients go, wow, I'm with the right company here. I must be with the industry leader because they're consistently bringing in new brands, bringing in new clients. Yeah. Why would I want to go anywhere else?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're starting off with offering performance-based incentives for your sales team. So obviously this could come in the form of commissions, but it's quite that's a strange term. Every time you talk commissions in a sales team, especially if you're trying to like build your team in the first place, you see the role and you think to yourself, oh no, it's based on my performance. I might not even get paid if I don't make a sale. And you got those like really scary metrics. But in terms of performance-based incentives, you can offer a commission on those, but it's also performance-based on your personal growth and your growth within the company as well.
Yeah. So just even having annual or monthly reviews where the sales team knows where his opportunities are. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have reviews with people, how are they supposed to know whether they're going backwards or whether they're going forwards?
Yeah.
So even these, besides commission, which is usually the main one that everyone obviously talks about, you can actually have monthly prizes where you can go, oh, whoever's top salesman this month can have a £30 Uber Eats voucher and then just have a takeaway for themselves. So it's just little fun activities like that where the sales can go, oh, hold on, I want to beat my team here. And it's not just focused on money.
Would you say, like, I want to say a lot of salesmen are very competitive in nature because it's what they do.
Yeah.
So having that in-house competition, it can kind of breed a lot of you have the rivalries between your best salesmen, people come in, and you can have that more of a more friendly vibe to it in a sense.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want it to be quite malicious. You want it to be a friendly competition.
I think the great thing about having these incentives has always been it makes the sales teams more attuned to their numbers, the team's numbers, and the whole company's numbers.
Yeah.
Because if you just focus on yourself, sometimes you could almost lose the sight of going, where's our business going? How's the other team performing? Maybe we need to sort things out here. Yeah. And then you lose that perspective. Whereas if you've got these incentives, you're almost keeping an eye on your colleagues to see where they are. So obviously you can know to keep up ahead. But actually it helps as a bigger plan because you know that your company's moving forward. And there's almost no, I wouldn't say weak links, but there's nobody that needs any help.
Yeah, you can spot who's falling behind. You say, okay, so what can we do to help you going forwards?
Exactly. So which also helps the team because if someone's getting left behind, they can get demotivated.
Yeah.
That almost drags the team down, because if you've got one spike in their sales, actually it's just averaging out between the two.
Yeah.
Whereas if we have two going forward.
There's a point I've got with, to give them all the tools they need. That was I'll go back to the last one.
Yeah.
But giving them all the tools they need is like what we said before. Like if anyone's slowing down during that incentive process, you can say, okay, what can we give you which would help you in your process? Like what's lacking behind it? Do you have a really slow laptop or computer which is like slowing down you sending emails and doing the rest of it? So we could give you the tools to do that. Do you need some more training or some lessons on social selling? Is there a way of messaging you need to like learn? You need to improve your sales pitch copy. You know, there's little things which if you give them all those tools, it will improve them in the long run.
Yeah, because I think when a lot of people think about tools, they sometimes always think about tangible things going, oh, have they got a phone that works, a laptop? But actually there's a lot of behind the support. So yeah, like you said, if they are falling behind, there's a lot of opportunities there where it might actually be the salesperson's product knowledge, or actually it might not. It might just be their confidence overall, which needs help with. So if it's confidence, it's almost actually, can I support this sales team by maybe jumping on a few calls with them, just almost being, let them be the lead person, but actually you're just there for support. And then if they're missing any, like, you know, when you have a call, so there's always a turning phrase where you can get them to change.
Right. Okay.
So when that person is on the call with them, maybe they're missing certain things like that, where that more experienced person or more confident person can go, oh, actually, this is how you turn them, and then they're almost learning that way.
Yeah, if
so
I was on a
actually,
sales call with you behind me, I feel a lot more confident, because if I was just like trying to just speak about, you know, what we do, is like, oh, this is a really good thing for you, you know, and I would. I'm not. I don't go into the sales meetings. But if you was behind me saying, "Oh yeah," and then you would jump in and just save me if I was floundering a bit in my words. You'd be like, "Oh, okay, we can just give you an extra push to go to those turning phrases."
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just that behind support where you can't really teach unless you're on the actual job, because you know in any job role or any industry, there's always things you can teach, but there's always things that come up when you do the real life application.
Yeah, I feel the best learner or the best teachers are the ones who are actually in the field a lot of the time.
Yes.
Like whenever if you're in retail for anything, what you're doing, if you see someone really good at it, and you see that they're now like the manager and team leader, you can tell they've done that because they've got the knowledge behind it, they've improved their craft, and they also will help you by being with them.
Yeah.
And you keep going that way. So I want to go back to creating realistic targets now, because this can be. The targets can be a motivator, but it can also be a demotivator. Because if you are not hitting your targets, it can have a really mental impact on the salesperson. So if you don't create realistic targets and you give them these like really lofty figures, like, oh, we want you to bring in 1 million customers by the end of next week, and then they just stress going, oh no, if I don't do that, what's going to happen? So having realistic targets can be a motivator, but also can be unrealistic targets are a demotivator. So what you want to do is make sure, this is important, that you understand what a realistic target is, which can be quite tough. Yeah,
because I think when people go, oh, I want to aim for the skies and have this really big target, it's so hard for that person to actually quantify in their heads. Yeah. So when you say, oh yeah, we need to bring in 1 million new customers this year, they're like, all right, but what does that mean to me, and what does that mean to each individual? Where if you go, all right, our aim is to go, let's bring in 120 clients new this year per person, and then that's 10 per month. So you're almost going, all right, now I need to aim for the 10 so you know where you are. Whereas instead of going, let's just go for the million, and then no one's almost tracking that number because it's not quantifiable.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that's just a thing you say. And then it kind of get lost in the fray, doesn't it?
Exactly, and then it almost becomes something that the team almost hide behind. So whereas if you have realistic objectives, they don't have to be the exact same for every person, because obviously there's no point comparing yourself to the person next to you because you're not the same. Yeah, I mean, like, there's going to be great things that you're great at. There's going to be things that you're better at. There's going to be things that you're worse at. But as long as you're learning and growing yourself, so at least if you go, I'm going to have these targets where you're pushing yourself, and once you hit those targets for, let's say, consistently for 2 months, now let's up the targets.
Again,
Yes, so you keep gradually pushing yourself instead of going, all right, I've hit £20,000 this month. I'm now going to go for 50,000 next month. Yeah, it's almost like you've jumped.
Also, I'd say you wouldn't have targets that you couldn't realistically hit yourself. If you're the sales director, look at the sales target and think to yourself, okay, if it was myself doing this is how you get a good baseline. Think of how many sales you make in that month, and then maybe you can check the person and see how good they are or how well they are. If they're on the same level as you, then you can create that baseline of, okay, if I could bring in 10, this person should bring in 10. And then you do like you said, the increments where you create our realistic like stretch goals. So you want to push yourself, but you don't want to like kill yourself, essentially.
Yeah, because sometimes to almost create a good sales team or get a motivated sales team, you have to give some of them, especially the less experienced people, the easy wins where they get very confident. Because basically, if you go from a person who's never sold a £5,000 product ever, and then they've sold 2, that now in their head becomes their norm, and they become very confident at it. I mean, like you can see the growth tremendously. So you almost have to give people those easy wins and give people easier targets than what you're planning. Just almost give them that confidence to say, I can confidently sell this product.
Yeah, and this works with anything. This could work with public speaking. This could work with, like I said, sales. It could work with just creating content. Like if you just do it and you get that little bit of success in it, it motivates you really hard to go forward. It might not happen straight away, but if you can find a way to empower that with someone else, like I said, give them an easy win, or like, you know, give them a good post, or like give them a little platform where they can speak, even if it's just like a small increment.
Yeah,
it'll really raise up their whole profile, won't it?
Definitely, because you can tell the difference as well when you've got a salesperson speaking to someone and they're a bit shy. Although they're not really saying anything wrong, you can tell when you listen in on these calls that the other person or the potential client they've almost got this sixth sense, that nervousness behind them. Whereas when you've got a salesperson who's very assumptive, he's very confident, that prospect actually believes that they can do that for them. Yeah,
if you're nervous, it kind of has a feel that it's they don't have confidence in their product or their service, which can come across to the client as, oh no, this person, it feels like they're lying because they're not confident. They're not lying at all. They do believe in their product, but because they're so nervous, the body language can come across as, oh no, I don't believe anything that I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
And then when the person sees that, they're like, okay, I don't think this is gonna go well.
Yeah, and then also it makes the call a bit unnatural again, where although it is a sales call and the prospect probably already knows that beforehand, but they almost get reminded of that because of the nervousness. Whereas if they're confident, it's almost, actually, this is no longer a sales call, it's more of a conversation.
Yeah.
And then therefore the sales team do better because their numbers convert better, clients are more happier. So yeah, there's a lot
for
of
everyone,
effects to it.
Fantastic. I think that's all we've got there for empowering or motivating a sales team, which is great. Do you have any final thoughts on that at all?
I would just say keep the team motivated. Don't forget about them, because especially with COVID as well, with people working at home, it can be very easy to almost miss people. So having those daily catch-ups is so key, just to almost get people to actually go share your thoughts or share any problems that you're having. Whereas if you almost leave the sales team to reach out to you, they tend to not, because it's
like, okay, I'll just carry on with my normal day. I think it's also good to have motivated people around you, because they inspire you to be motivated yourself. Like if in the office everyone was having a terrible day and we all just sat down, you know, with our headphones, if there was no life in the business, you can kind of feel your own work kind of slipping and getting into that funk. So motivating other people and having a motivated team around you will bring yourself up as well at the same time.
Yeah, and with knock-on effects as well, it has tremendous impact on people who aren't even in sales. I mean like the C-level people get very excited. The people around you who are not even anything close. I mean, like a lot of our content team get very excited.
Yeah.
Obviously, people in your team get very excited about sales now. So it almost has that very good culture of, we all want to see the business move forward.
Yeah.
Which is what you want.
And when it does, it's all win forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming down, Curtis.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for watching Maverrik Live. We'll be back on Friday for our next show. Don't forget to subscribe to us and click on notifications to remember when we go live. And follow us on all our social media channels, where we give out loads of great tips and articles on how to grow your business and your sales. So thanks again, Curtis, for being down.
Yep, thank you for having me, and we'll see you soon.